What's going on, guys? My name's Rob, and welcome back to Above the Six Watch Reviews. So today we're going to be looking at a full review of the San Martin SN0144-CG7. So I've had a little over 2 weeks to spend with this watch, wearing it on a consistent basis. And today we're going to go through what the pros are, what the cons are for the watch, and just my overall thoughts on it. And don't forget to stay tuned till the end of the video, guys, to see the official Above the Six rating for this watch and to figure out if I'll actually recommend you buying this watch as well. So without further ado, let's get into the review. So I'm going to go ahead and throw my trusty black gloves on for this. As always, guys, really appreciate the subscriptions, and for anyone who's out there joining the Above the Six community. It's been really great through the first week or so of the channel. Very grateful. And as always, if you like the content, if you like what you're seeing, go ahead and give us a like. Obviously, smash that subscribe button. Again, it's greatly appreciated. And obviously, the channel can't really run without the support of you guys. So very much appreciated. So what we'll do, we'll run through quickly the measurements for the watch itself. I know with a lot of these AliExpress brands, measurements can sometimes be, a little bit of a hit or miss. And I've seen other reviewers that I respect where they've actually had issues where, some of these brands have said, the case diameter is a certain width and it was completely off by 1 or 2 millimeters, or the case width was off by half a millimeter. So I think it's always important to go ahead and obviously do your own measurements. So we'll go ahead and we'll start with the case width. So right there we have a case width of 39 millimeters. There we have a case thickness of 10.3 millimeters. Overall lug to lug of 45.2 millimeters. We have a bandwidth of 19.6 or 20 millimeters. And a taper on the bracelet from 20 down to 16 or 15.7 millimeters. So there we go. That gets our measurements out of the way with. So overall, very, very close in terms of what their projected measurements were. So very nice to see that they're sticking to it. I think the first place I really want to start is the dial, and that, if you guys saw my unboxing, that's really what drew me to this watch as well. So let's take a look at the dial itself. So as you can see, we've got a very deep enamel dial. So to me, this just makes the watch look extremely high-end, extremely luxurious. So I think they've done a great job with that enamel dial of really matching the overall aesthetic of the watch itself, which is really a dressy everyday carry or gata watch. As you can see as well, guys, and we'll try and get fairly close here. So we've got applied indices with a little bit of polish there. And the indices look great. Finishing is awesome. And then we've got our handset as well, which again, I think is unique. It's bespoke to San Martin. We've seen it on the original SN0144 watches, but yeah, just a great crisp handset. And I think, again, a really solid match for this style of watch. We've got the minutes along the chapter ring on the outside, and then great spacing on the dial. So we've got the San Martin hexagon logo there, and then we've got automatic and then the water resistance below. I think one of the really cool features of this watch that I didn't really notice until I had it in hand and I was wearing it on a regular basis was actually that bezel. So we'll see if we can kind of get in close here and you can take a look at that bezel. As you can see, guys, the bezel is recessed. So you have your dial and your sapphire crystal, and then you have a recessed bezel there. And I think to me, that's just a very, very interesting way to go about designing the bezel. And I think it looks great. I think it also gives it a little bit more of a tool type of look to it, or more of a functional look to it. And I think it just does a really great job of, again, distinguishing it. San Martin's not known, guys, for their originality. And I think this is a really cool feature that San Martin's put on this watch. So overall, the dial is right up my alley, and I think it's just awesome overall. Then we've got the overall case. So as mentioned, this is a rather thin cased watch, and I think a lot of that has to do with the movement with the Miyota 90S5. But as you guys can see here, very thin on the case profile. Great brushing, great finishing on the case in general. But yeah, I think great look to it. Little bit of a turn down to the lugs, but not much. Maybe, I would maybe like to see a little bit more of a turn down on the lugs just from a fit perspective, but it doesn't affect the overall wearing experience. But yeah, it might be nice to have a little bit more of a turn down in the lugs there. And then we've got just the overall case again. This is the very popular SN0144 case design. Again, great finishing here, crisp transitions. And yeah, I think overall just a really dynamic, well-finished, almost a little bit of a sporty aesthetic to this case, which again, I think it helps the watch become, your everyday carry. So very, very nice looking case. And then moving on, we'll take a look at the crown as well as the crystal. So if we look here, we have a signed screw down crown, which contributes obviously to the water resistance. We have a little bit of a coin edge finish on it as well, which helps from a grip standpoint. And it's a good size as well, guys. So if you look, it's not too large, but big enough that you get a good grip on it. And one of the things I had mentioned in my original unboxing was that it was a little bit gritty when I was turning the crown originally. I'm happy to report that grittiness it went away in about 3 or 4 days. So very smooth, very easy to operate, picks up very quickly when you're screwing it back down. And yeah, overall, an extremely nice crown. I think as we talk about the crystal, guys, and this is one of the areas where I think this watch falls short. And I'm not 100% sure if this is just bad luck on my part, or maybe something was missed in the QC. I think there's enough AR coating on this crystal, but especially in lower light situations, I found the crystal to be almost hazy. And that to me is the most disappointing, or one of the only disappointing features of this watch. In low light, I've noticed that at nighttime, the crystal, just for whatever reason, isn't as clear as you'd expect it to be for a watch, at this level for a brand like San Martin as well, guys. So very disappointed in terms of the crystal itself. Again, I've seen, other sapphire crystals from other AliExpress brands that vastly outperform this. And, I hesitate. I don't even know if I want to say this, but I've seen mineral crystals that, definitely didn't have that haze to it as well. So, one of the areas where I think there could definitely be some improvement from San Martin is that sapphire crystal. So I think maybe they need to take a little bit of a lead from a company like Baltony and maybe up their crystal game, unless it was just my luck and it's a one-off. On the movement side, so this has been my first real experience with the Miyota 9 series. And, I think, you hear a lot about the 9 series. They're in, geez, pretty much every micro brand that you and I both see all over YouTube for reviews that's in and around that $750 to $1,000 Canadian price range. They're all using the 9 series. And while it does a great job in terms of its thinness and obviously helping with the profile of this watch, I'll be honest, guys, that rotor, very loud. So I'm not gonna cause a war and a fight in the comment section, but it is not that far off of the 8215 from Miyota. I remember the first time I heard the rotor, probably day one or day two of this watch, of owning it, and I was a little put back by it. It is extremely loud. So again, I'm not sure if the 9015 or the 9039 are any better, or maybe this is just a one-off, but from my perspective, that's definitely a drawback to this watch. I will say you don't notice it on wrist, but obviously when you put it down or you have that movement to it, it's definitely noticeable. It's fairly significant. Moving on, we'll take a look at the bracelet and the clasp. So again, on the bracelet itself, so we've got our Jubilee bracelet here. And again, we've got a great taper from 20 right down to the 16 mil at the clasp. Overall, tremendous bracelet. So they're using screw pins for the watch to hold the links itself, which makes it extremely easy, guys, when we're sizing. And I'm a huge fan of screw pins. They work tremendous. But yeah, this bracelet is finished to an extremely high standard. So when they talk about San Martin finishing, I think the bracelet is a perfect example of that. Looks great, definitely dresses up the watch itself and makes it a lot more formal. Allows you to, you could wear this, if you got a suit on, a blazer, you could easily rock this watch with that look as well. Great articulation in the links as well, guys. So we'll get a better look at that. Yeah, just tremendous articulation here. Good fluidity and extremely comfortable to wear. That's probably one of the biggest pros to this bracelet, is just the overall comfort level that you get wearing it. Just hugs the wrist very nicely. And yeah, overall the bracelet is tremendous. Moving on to the clasp. So we've got obviously the San Martin logo there. The clasp, if you saw my unboxing, I thought potentially it was going to be a little bit on the bigger side. But realistically, once you wear it, guys, it's right at that limit. I think it fits extremely well with the watch itself. I think, it's very easy to operate. Does the trick. And listen, that on-the-fly system that they've got in place with this watch is absolutely tremendous. I don't know if I'll wear another watch, guys, that doesn't have an on-the-fly system. Makes it so easy. It's summer right now in Toronto. We're just finishing off a crazy heat wave where last week temperatures were in the low 40 degrees Celsius with humidity. And I can tell you that on-the-fly adjustment system was a godsend. To be able to adjust in real time just made the overall wearing experience awesome. So great job to San Martin. I think that on-the-fly adjustment system is an absolute keeper, and they've done a really good job engineering that without a doubt. So before we get into my concluding thoughts, our overall rating, and obviously whether or not I recommend this watch, I have joined with AliExpress, so I am now an affiliate partner with them. So in the description of this video, I've actually got a list of some of my personal picks from the AliExpress collection. I know it can be intimidating if you're a first-time buyer on the site itself. There's thousands of watches that you can go through. So I've taken the time to run through and narrow it down to probably about 15 or 20 of my personal favorites that I think are really a good starting point with AliExpress. They're all under $200 Canadian. A lot of them are well under the $150 Canadian. So very budget friendly, a lot of value in them. And to me, they're your quintessential watches that if you want to start and dip your toe into that AliExpress pool, I think you can't go wrong with really any of these watches. I think they're all great buys. So again, the links will be in the description. They are affiliate links. So the good thing is you guys don't pay anything extra, but there is a commission that does get paid out to the channel, which obviously helps me continue to put out content and continue to have a little bit of variety and diversity with that content for you guys. So again, feel free, if you like the watches, feel free to click through, and happy hunting and shopping from that standpoint. Let's talk a little bit about price and value. So I think that's an area where when it comes to San Martin and AliExpress, we definitely have to talk about value with them. And the first part of that to me is price. So if you look, when I did my unboxing probably about a little over 2 weeks ago, it was on for roughly 600, 650 Canadian. So I would say the sweet spot for this watch, to really get the most value out of it, you want to target that price range between kind of 375 Canadian right up to even about 550. And I know it's a bit of a big gap, but I've seen this watch on AliExpress listed anywhere from 375 during the June sale, really right up to $650. Do I think it's good value at $650 Canadian? Absolutely not. Not even for my US or my UK viewers. But I think when you're talking about 375, geez, if you can get it at 375, go grab a lottery ticket, because I think you just stole something. But if you can get it 375, really right up to that 550 mark, I think you're getting away with a really solid deal. And again, when we look at that 550, guys, it's really competing here with, maybe the Tissot Gentleman Quartz. And I think, watches like that, maybe the Citizen Soyosa, I think when you compare it to those familiar brands, I don't think those brands really can hold a candle to this watch in that price range. You're getting an awesome automatic watch with great finishing, great fit, original design, and I think really and truly they're class leading when it comes to this type of watch in that type of price range. So overall, I do think it's tremendous value. The moment we've all been waiting for, guys. So in terms of rating, where does this watch stand on the above the 6 scale? So if we look, I think it's a great watch overall, and the rating I'm going to give it here is 8.2 out of 10. Again, great watch. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. But I think for what you're spending, for the quality, the movement, the fit, finish, feel of this watch, it is absolutely a great deal. Biggest question, would I recommend this watch? And the answer to that, guys, is hell yeah. If you're in the market for a dressy Gatto watch or everyday carry that leans a little bit more formal, run out, keep an eye out for those sales. We'll have the back to school sale coming up shortly towards the end of August on AliExpress. So keep an eye out. If you can wait for that 11/11 sale and see if the price is going to be even better. But if you are in the market for this style of watch, I would not hesitate in terms of going out and grabbing it. Even with the, you know, the minor cons with the crystal, you know, I think that's something that, again, it could have just been a one-off, or, you know, hopefully maybe on the next version they'll get that adjusted. But even with that, I still feel like this is a banger of a watch, and definitely warrants that 8.2 score. So I would recommend it. Again, I appreciate you guys viewing this. Appreciate all the support on the channel, and look forward to our next video. But until then, guys, take care, and we'll see you on the next one.